Prisoners, you know what? Don't get this wrong, but guess what? They use words for a reason. People use words for a reason. The word lockdown came from prisons, and the word lockdown has been used by Bill Gates, Fauci, and all the other politicians out there that know better for us. And they said that we're going to get locked down. So what that means is you have no rights. That means that you're going to get locked down whether you're healthy, whether you're young and healthy, or healthy at any age. And understand something. You know what? I want to demand that we have a world that when there's a lockdown, it is, and it shouldn't be a lockdown, should be protect and heal. Oh, we got to go into protection and healing, everyone. Don't you ever tell me that you're going to lock me down. Nobody's locking me down. And right now, they've created an invisible prison called Planet Prison for most of the population. Nobody's locking me down. Don't you ever even tell me you're locking me down. I will always be free. Always. I was born free. That is my God-given right to be free. There's no lockdown for this guy. So what should we be doing? We got to go into what? Protection and healing for the sick and for the elderly. We need to feed them. So all of us young people should have been going in there and teaching. All of us young or healthy older people should have been going into the nursing homes or going to places and going to different homes where the elderly are and bringing them healthy food. We should be teaching the people that are sick, the elderly, on how to detoxify. Most people, when they're sick, they don't even have a bowel movement. They can't even pee. It just goes drip, drip, drip. Or when they do pee, they pee themselves. Or when they poo themselves. And these are the people that we need to help. Now, did I see our government going, we need to eat fresh and raw, we need to detoxify them, we need to get them on high vibrational supplementation and foods, and we need to bring music, and we need to bring sunlight and laughter into their life? You know what? I'm not playing the game. I'm not believing in it. I mean, you know, so many people have come on and they've had tantrums with me and telling me that, you know, I'm a troublemaker. Well, guess what? I'm not the troublemaker. The majority doesn't rule, okay, when they don't know the rules. And the rules are to love, honor, respect, protect your body. First and foremost. Become the light for your family. Not a panicked, freaked out person that believes the end of the world is going to come in and then allow this economic crash. Anyways, I said what I wanted to say, and I'm going to keep putting it out there because guess what? I'm not really interested in giving my life away. If you want to give your life away, or if it's not you, if everybody who's watching this has decided that they're going to hold the line, end the family curse, say no to politicians, say no to medical doctors who haven't even done their own research. They've just been told, don't worry, don't test for COVID. And if you think it's COVID, just put it down. And then guess what? Who in the heck would have all that time, all those nurses to do all those dances and learn how to dance, and they're not even dancers? I will never do this. I will never, ever terrorize somebody like this and take advantage of them, even if they live in fear, or if I can maybe, you know, take advantage of them and take money away from them, take away their freedoms. I'll never do that. But what I will do is try to empower everybody that comes near me or comes on my shows, and this is what it's all about. So I just want to ask one question here, and then we're going to get right into this. Who owns your mind? Well, the person that you look up to, the person that you listen to. So who do you listen to the most every day? Where does your information come from? Because whoever owns your mind, they own your body. So understand something. If you owned your mind, you wouldn't be terrorized right now. You would know what's going on. You know what? If you owned your body, you wouldn't have a disease, would you? Because if you owned your body, you would know that emotions rule the physical body. The invisible creates the physical. And guess what? You'd be like me. I'll be 64 years old, never felt better, right? I'm a little perturbed about what's going on, how there's just a few people that are trying to take over the planet. Watch my videos this weekend that I'm putting out, and then, you can decide that I don't know what I'm talking about, and I've just lost it. Or you can decide that I'm trying to help my brothers and sisters. Okay? So who owns your mind and who owns your body? All right. New topic. Okay? In 7 weeks from now, we are going to be redoing the 6-day advanced water fasting challenge. I want to tell you something right now, and you can believe this or not believe this, but you couldn't work out enough to get rid of your fat. You couldn't work out enough to get rid of your toxins. You couldn't spend enough money to get rid of your toxins. You couldn't spend enough money to get rid of your fat. You couldn't jog enough to get rid of your toxins, because even somebody who runs marathons who's really skinny, they're totally acidic. And we know that marathon runners die earlier than any other sport. Don't do your research. Okay, it's called runner's heart. Okay, so the reality is that if you were to know that the most powerful thing that you could ever do would be advanced water fasting, because now you can fast on just water, but then use things like ATP, Ormus, Fulvic, doing the ultimate coffee enema if you don't want to do that. And then you do also Himalayan salt and water. And then you can also do daily cleansing tea if the salt's not moving you. But the reality is let's get going. Let's unleash our power. Okay, let's take our power back. Let's show that we believe in this God-given body, and let's show our subconscious that we can bring in things that the subconscious says, no, it's scary. You can't go without one meal, and let's just do it. Okay, let's just do it. So that'll be happening 6 weeks from now. You can take a look at the calendar. We have an events calendar, and it will be up in there, okay? Now, before we start, we've been going through this a lot. Whether you know this or not, we reach hundreds of thousands of people now with our information. And we are putting together a slideshow that will be on at the end of these shows that will tell you where to go for your free information, your free support. Okay? So I'm just going to tell people that when I talk today, you can go back to the beginning of the show and take pictures by stopping the video, okay, or you can write it down. For the ultimate coffee enema, you go to itioh.com/library. The Perfect Day Diet. Everybody should go there. It's in the library. Go to the Perfect Day Guide and go to page 36 and see what a perfect day diet is. Because guess what? Next Wednesday, I'm doing the Perfect Day Diet for the Perfect Life on Wednesday. And then I'm going to do a Q&A on Thursday so you can come to me with all your questions. Okay? And we can unravel this whole diet thing. Structure Water. About Structure Water is in the Structure Water Guide. That, again, is in our library, okay, on Doc of Detox. And you can also watch the video by Dr. Gerald Pollack. Our Epsom Salt Glow and Cocoa Salt Glow and Skin Brushing is in the Beautiful Skin chapter on page 518 in Healthy to 100, okay? And if you want to get one of my books, okay, you just pay the shipping. We got great shipping rates, and you can have it for free. You can have up to 6 books free for your family and friends, okay? All right. Also, this information can also be found in the Perfect Day that I just told you to look at. So the more that you research the Perfect Day, what I'm going to be doing is next Wednesday, I'm going to do a show called the Perfect Diet for the Perfect Life, and then Thursday a Q&A. That's only going to be about food and diet. It's not going to be about anything else. And we'll also talk about different people and why different people do different diets for different reasons. And then I'll open it up for Q&A on Thursday. But then the following week, so if you don't want to know anything about products, don't come on that show. If you do, then come on that show. I'm going to be talking about the perfect nutritional, vibrational supplementation, okay, for the perfect day, okay? So I'm going to be talking about why we use different things to create that healthy life. And then I'm going to open up again on Thursday for a Q&A. All right, I hope you're liking this, people, because this is all I want to do is just give you everything that I know, and then you pick from it like a buffet and say, I like it, I don't like this, I'll do this, I won't do that. Okay? All right. Okay. Also, for your do-it-yourself videos, we have do-it-yourself videos up in YouTube, okay? So you go to YouTube and you can find all our do-it-yourself videos like the ultimate coffee enema, clapping your lungs and heart for health, belly button therapy, pelvic enhancer, pelvic activation squat, ear restoration, eye restoration, okay? So it's all in DIY, the do-it-yourself videos on YouTube channel. All right, you'll find, and that's it. You'll find our products, though, in the library, like our Humic Fulvic Guide is in the library on Doc of Detox. And if you want to know about our SAC Ionic Calcium, which is the only true calcium, I think, on the planet, you'll see when you go through it. We have a 33-page on it, 33 pages research on it. And we also have 2 videos, okay? The truth about calcium and the science about calcium. Wait till you see this. And if you email me a quick start at docofdetox.com, because for that, you got to really dig. You got to send an email. We'll send an email back. Check your junk mail, because sometimes it'll be there. If you send an email to me at quickstart at docofdetox.com and you can't find it, then it's in your junk mail. Now, you got to go and do that, because the calcium has no side effects. It's the most powerful product you've ever seen from A to Z. But the reality is the FDA told us that we cannot put it up front on our website. People have to play hide and seek to find it. Okay? So send in your live questions now to Facebook, YouTube, and Intercom. First come, first serve. All right, everybody? And just know this. We are taking personal treatment and trainings where you can come here and take our personal treatment and training. Check that out at itioh.com, or check out the personal treatment and training guide on our library. And we'll fly to you and teach your whole family, or we'll come to you and certify your clinic. So check that out at itioh.com if you're interested in certifications. Okay, let's get started. All right? So let's begin. The first one is Tracy from Tracy. I'm the person who asked, oh, wait, 1 second. Can you ask somebody to take a look out there? I have a lady that I said I would call. They'll find the papers at my desk. Okay? All right. If you're watching right now, we talked this morning about your fibroids in your breast. If you'd like to give me a call, okay, feel free to do that. And what's my phone number on this phone? Do you know, Drake? Okay. Well, there we go. I think I just saw it. Nope. Okay, so I need to get her phone number. All right. And get Tara to text me this phone number, because she's on this phone right now. We have a lot of phones. Yeah. Okay, so let's just do this until we contact her. Tracy, I'm the person who asked yesterday about black mold in lungs and gut. You mentioned, okay, it's bouncing, in gut. You mentioned tissue integrity. How do I start? I do not want relapse of melanoma. Okay, so melanoma is skin cancer, okay, everybody, and it's a type of skin cancer. Now, she doesn't want, okay, first of all, understand something. That fungal problems like eczema, psoriasis, vaginitis, even sinusitis, jock itch, toe fungus, all of this is fungal problems. Now, when you get a fungal problem in your body, okay. It was a 403 number, tell them, if they'll take a look. So if you get a fungal problem in your body, that means that you've already have it in your large intestine. And these drill bit predators have already drilled holes through your large intestine, and the fungus has gone into your bloodstream, and then it goes to the weak link in the body. Now, I'm the person who asked yesterday about black mold in lungs and gut. Now, if you had black mold in lungs and gut, you had black mold in your house. Hopefully, she's already moved, okay? That's one thing. And with black mold, it's usually behind the walls, so it is a real predator. So whenever you have, like, in your house where you've had, like, a water pipe break behind the walls, you got to tear the walls out. You can't just go and fix the pipe. All that leakage, it can cause the black mold. So understand that. Where it's wet, where it's dark, hey, a cave, we grow mold. So that's the same thing with the vagina, the ears, the sinuses, okay, the bowel. So places that are like a hole, that are, it's a cave. So that's what happens. So first we got to go to the large intestine and bring the integrity back. And we got to work on the liver, because the liver did a lot of processing from the blood. So it does a lot of the purification of the blood. And what most people don't realize is their liver is just a filter. Okay, would you get a car and drive a car for 30 years without changing the filter? Okay, well, the reality is if you don't know how to have a healthy liver, and the first thing is you can't have a healthy liver if your colon backs up, or if your colon, the yeast has turned into fungus and you've got rampage throughout your body. So we got to heal the colon and the liver. If you've got psoriasis or eczema, well, really psoriasis, because psoriasis is the eczema is junior, psoriasis is senior. They're both the same condition. The eczema never got looked after, so it became psoriasis. You first had inflammation in your joints, and then you got what? Arthritis, and then you got what? Rheumatoid arthritis, and then you got what? Osteoarthritis. So it's all about really bad healthcare. Bad healthcare. You know, not getting the right information to take your power back, because you're never going to stay well. You might get well, but you're not going to stay well unless you know how to create the perfect day. And that's the bottom line. So what we need to do is, if we have fungal problems, we know we got to be off gluten, we got to be off dairy, we got to be off sugar, we got to be off all flour products. We know that we've got to go to more fresh and raw. And sometimes just being on good fruit can trigger it, but it's not the fruit's problem. It's just that you have so much mold in your body, your immune system is down. So fruit may aggravate it, but don't blame it on the fruit. Fruit didn't cause it. And that's why when people do the Candida diet, the diet is so rigorous, and you don't need to do that. You know, you want to be able to be on a diet that you can live it. Okay? You got to live it for the rest of your life, and you got to enjoy it, because if you got to do something that's really crazy for a long time, you're never going to do it. So if you don't enjoy it, it's not going to continue. So I will tell you, Tracy, with black mold, and if you've got really your immune system has been lowered, because I don't know any of the other symptoms here, I would suggest just look at it to get a perfect day consult. Okay, and again, I'm just going to tell you it's $125. $25 goes towards product. Now, why am I saying that? Well, because you need a coach. Okay, so I started taking this product and this happened. I mean, you can call right now. Okay, I'm eating this food. I don't know what's going on. I feel bloated. Okay. Oh, I just did this and I did what you said, and now I've got diarrhea. Okay. Now I'm constipated. I mean, if you had to do that 5 times a day, we are going to stop you from jumping off a cliff mentally and physically and giving up on yourself. That really sucks. And this is what this whole perfect day consult is. I don't want people jumping off a cliff. I'm telling you will get there. You've got to have faith in your body, and you've got to have strategy. Understand something. The reason why we're in this big mess here today is because they've been strategizing for a couple hundred years or more, okay? And we haven't even strategized at all. So when you finally have a strategy and you decide what you want to see in your life, what do you want? What's your focus? What's your end goal? What do you want in your life? You can have it. And what you do is you find a peaceful, calm place, and you go, and you talk to your family in bravery, in courage, and decide what everybody wants. And then you say, look it, we are not going to let fear throw us off track again. We are going to demand this for our life. So whether you're talking about just your diet or detox or anything in your life, you have to have a strategy. And when you're clear of mind, do not come off of that strategy. Just, okay. So my subconscious is fighting with me. I'm going into fear and panic now. I'm going to stick to the program. What's the program? Okay, when you're in fear and panic, let me see. 6 breaths in, 7 breaths out, Lionheart. Do the belly button therapy, okay? If you have an Avicin, put your hand in it, calm down, okay? There's lots of other things. We'll go through those things with you. But guess what? Even doing this, 3, 2, 1, I got this. So whether you believe this or not, what has this got to do with black mold, Dr. Wolfe? Well, guess what it's got to do with? All protocols, not all, but almost all protocols and systems out there that we've been given have been made to feel like we're getting there, and then we always fail. You will not fail yourself, and I will not fail you. My team will not fail you, okay? And I make that promise. So here's the deal. You don't even have to come to us. If you just follow the rabbit hole with the quick start at docofdetox.com, I'm going to give you more information and correct information that you've ever gotten before. So then you can say, well, I'm not going to spend any money, because some people just won't. You don't have to. And then just keep watching the shows, listening, doing that. But understand something. Everybody needs a coach. All right? And we may not be your right coach, but find a good one. Find someone that you can trust. Okay? Paola. Paola. There you go. Money. No, I'm kidding. Her name is Paola. Can fasting help with psoriasis? Oh my gosh. Here we go. I think this is the most amazing question. And guess what? We ran into that problem with a lady just this afternoon. Isn't that something? So here's the deal. Psoriasis is a fungal problem. We just talked about it. And it's because your bowel, okay, all right, between the alcohol, the sugar, the flour products, okay, the antibiotics, the radiation, the chemo, prescription drugs have knocked out the good bacteria in your bowel, and then the yeast turns into fungus. Now understand something. What turns yeast into fungus? We need yeast. Why would it turn to fungus? Well, because you put low vibrational things that are below zero. That means that they don't, okay, antibiotics are below zero. Do you get it? They kill things. They kill all bacteria, not good and bad. Not a smart thing to do when you're a walking glob of bacteria and that is your major immune system. It is a smart thing to do if you're in a life-threatening situation. I'm with you there. But then you got to go in and rebuild mommy's bacteria, because it's only mommy's bacteria that is the most important thing that you build. So yes, we do give people good bacteria sometimes, but no, it doesn't heal you. What heals you is changing the integrity of the tissue, getting rid of the scar tissue, getting rid of the physical blocks, getting your bowel to move more. The higher the vibration is in your large intestine, bad bacteria go to good bacteria, bad moods go to good moods. That's how it works. Bad bacteria give bad moods. So, grumpy dumpy, well, they got bad bacteria. So people don't know that they can actually be run by their bacteria. So psoriasis, okay. There's so much, with this stuff, and I'm going to say this lightly. If it's not me, find a coach. If it's not one of my master consultants, go find a coach. Find somebody who's really good at what they do. But the reality is, again, we got to go back to the bowel. We got to work on the liver. It'd be great if you would embrace the ultimate coffee enema. It would really be great, and it would be really great if you would embrace drinking enough water. Yeah. I do. No, you don't. Oh, but I have a great bowel movement. No, you don't. Understand, anybody with psoriasis doesn't have a good bowel movement. Okay? Anybody that has psoriasis, all right, unless they changed just last week or a few weeks ago. And understand something. With any chronic condition, you got to give yourself 9 months. But in our case, with our people, we say just give us 6 weeks to 3 months, and you're going to be amazed. But you got to give yourself 9 months with a chronic condition to go, yeah, I created a new program, because the new program just can't be right here. It's got to be in here, And then it's got to be in the cells that have the psoriasis, the cells that have the cancer, the cells that have the arthritis, because your body thinks you need the arthritis. It thinks you need the cancer cells. It thinks you need the psoriasis. I am not kidding. And I will prove this in my master class when I'm doing what's called the emotional intelligence, okay? The emotional intelligence of cancer and other illnesses. So when I bring that out, which is 80% done, I don't know when I'm going to get there. It's kind of been busy, but I'm bringing it out. I will prove to you that I'm right. So you've got to do something long enough and strong enough with passion and emotion to actually get rid of a habit. Because habits aren't just in your subconscious. They are in your cells. That's why you can do your fly up. That's why you can go to the bathroom. That's why you can close your eyes and hug and kiss your wife and actually hit her lips. Not hit them, but touch them, kiss them, because you've done it so many times. So it's all about programming. Everything's programming. Programming is our life. But the problem is you've been programmed to fail. Not you, but most of the population. You can't have 92% of the population with autoimmune disease and 1 out of 2 people getting cancer and 1 out of 2 people having heart disease and not tell me you haven't been programmed, because God does not make junk. Okay? So let's go back to the psoriasis. Well, I would tell you to get a consult, because I'll tell you, you know what? Well, what we want to do is with psoriasis, I want you to skin brush, but not where the psoriasis is, everywhere else in the body. I want you to do a salt glow everywhere else where the psoriasis isn't. Okay? What do I want you to do? I want you to get our structured moringa oil, and I want you to get our tea tree, and I want you to buy at least a bigger bottle of it, and I want you to mix them two together, and then mix our, we have a concentrated tea tree. Take that concentrated tea tree, mix it with the moringa oil, and put it on the psoriasis, and put on enough that it tingles. Because if it's not tingling, it's not doing anything. You know, because something's got to be going on. So you got to feel something, a little bit of burning, a little bit of tingling. It's all good. And guess what? I would do clapping. If I had psoriasis, I'd be clapping. I'd be clapping around the area, and then I'd start to clap on the area gently, but I'd clap. Why? Well, Dr. Wolfe, that is so silly to clap someplace you're sore. Well, why is it? That place that you have the psoriasis means that you have your microcirculation blocked, which means you have a physical block. Because why would the fungus be coming out in that area? Because it's the weakest area in your tissue. So I would be in there and I'd be clapping it. If it was me, I'm not telling you to do it. And here's a clapper. Oh, and everybody, you can buy clappers. They're up online. There's only 300. When those 300 clappers are gone, the clapping course starts. Now, here's the rules. Okay, because people think I'm kind of nuts with the clapping thing, but guess what? Wherever you have pain, you've got a block. Did you hear what I said? And I will, anybody wants to come on my show, doctor, practitioner, wherever you have a block in your body, you have pain. So if you have a block, would we want to unblock it? Would we want the circulation back? I think so, right? So we want the circulation back to normal. Oh, wait a minute. You wouldn't have a disease there. You're going to have a disease when there's no ease. When there's no ease, there's no flow. When there's no flow, you have a physical block. Why do you have a physical block? Because you had an emotional block first. But you didn't know it because you were programmed for it. It runs in my family. No, it doesn't. Beliefs run in your family, not genetics. We already know that. So the sooner you change your beliefs, then you're not going to die of heart disease like your father did. Okay? All right? So let's put everything right into perspective here. Okay? So with the psoriasis, that's what you'll do externally. And then internally, I already told you, colon health, liver health, get on the daily cleansing tea, tummy love, black gold, and do the ultimate coffee enema. And then don't be doing a lot of fruit. Okay, do more vegetables, okay? And probably with psoriasis, you probably don't digest things well and get gas from broccoli. So you can steam your broccoli, steam your cauliflower, leafy greens and other things like that. Have lots of it, have lots of life coming in. Let's make sure we do structured water. Oh, and by the way, when you decide to have a shower and you didn't get a structured shower head, which we have, or we'll get something else, but don't get a shower filter. They just jam up so fast with all those gallons going in. They don't work well. So, and if you want to don't want to get a structure unit from us, get it from someone else. But the reality is, why in the heck would anybody take a shower when you take a 10-minute hot shower, you take in as much chlorine as if you drank 20 glasses of chlorinated water in a day? Now, a structured water unit is going to structure it. And even though the chemical's still in there, it'll never irritate, never bother you. And I'll give you a 3-month money-back guarantee that that's going to start healing your psoriasis. The other thing that's going to heal it, if you want to spend the money, it'll cost you around $1,300. Take a look at my website. Go to EMF/light and buy a vitamin D light, a real professional one, not some one. You know, people say I've got one, then I find out that they're not real. They're knockoffs. But if you get a vitamin D light, wow. Okay? Remember something. Sunshine kills fungus, kills viruses. Oh, wait a minute. And you locked yourself in the house for how long? 2 months? Are you crazy? That's the best place to hold on to a virus. That's the best place to hold on to a fungus. Oh, yeah, every summer, man, I feel healthier. The fungus goes away. The psoriasis clears up somewhat. Eczema clears up. Well, there's a reason for it. The sun is one of the greatest practitioners on this planet. Okay, let's move on. I'm not going to get through everything here today. I don't know why. I'm just Mr. Darrell Chatty. Okay, but we are going to be back here Monday. Okay, text. This is the text. I had an ultrasound that showed I have polyps on my gallbladder. Well, guess what? Welcome to warts on your gallbladder. Warts on your gallbladder. So that's a viral problem. Liver. But there's warts on your gallbladder. So we know that if we could get into the bowel, we could get into the liver and do what I just said. And you're going, you know what? You know what I noticed about this Dr. Wolfe guy? He doesn't know much. He keeps repeating himself about almost with everything. Well, because guess what? It was made to look complicated. You know how many people call me almost every day with a new disease and a new drug, and I'm supposed to know? No. Why do you think with medicine everything is in Greek terms? Arthritis, fibromyalgia. Arthritis means pain in the joint. Fibromyalgia means pain in the muscle tissue. Wow. So people go, oh, I got fibromyalgia. And I go, yeah, you got pain in your muscle tissue. Well, you're a pain in my muscle tissue right now. So the reality is this. It's all meant to be confusing. It's called, the shell game. Find out where the cure is, right? You are the cure. There's only one cure. Okay, so gallbladder, is there a way I can remove these as well as a hernia without getting surgery? First of all, hiatal hernia, yes, a lot faster. And if you get our Wolfe non-surgical, which it's the most powerful body work. It's the funniest thing, People will still opt for the surgery because they just want it done. We are programmed, So whatever the physical problem is in the body, it's about scar tissue. So we can go in there and help remove it. Check it out. Go to our A to Z wellness guide in the library and read the first 40 pages. And then tell me I'm wrong. Okay, so without surgery. Well, if it's a hiatal hernia, now if it's in the abdomen and it's an inguinal hernia, that's the one everybody's getting now, because guess why? We're rotten to the core. That's right. We're actually rotten. We're rotting out our pelvis floor. Okay, that's why there's so much disease down there. That's why there's so much surgery down there. Okay, because we're rotting out. Okay, so if you were to go on the perfect day diet and then we were to do the advanced water fasting and you were to get yourself a coach, okay, so you can take our information and take it to your naturopath or someone else. But if they were to follow that, the inguinal hernia, there's a really good chance it's going to heal. And you know what? Light clapping. I said light. And then doing the colon cleansing, do the liver cleansing, doing some pelvic stretching, okay, doing activation squat, daily cleansing tea, tummy love, black gold, the same things for helping to support, okay? And then making sure around the area of the hernia, the scar tissue that was created, to get that to be removed, because there's scar tissue around a hernia because you tore out, okay, and you're getting weak here. So the reality is wherever there's inflammation, there's scar tissue formation, and that walls off the circulation for this to heal. So what we want to do is increase the circulation without creating inflammation where the hernia is or the tissue damage is. Because the scar tissue won't be where the tissue damage is, because you're continually getting bloated, having gas, overeating, eating the wrong foods. So you're always irritating the hernia. And that's the bottom line. You'd never have a hernia. You'd never have bloating. You'd never have diarrhea. You'd never have constipation if you knew that we're an inflammation nation and we've been programmed to poison ourselves. Tell me we're not. Okay? So we need to really Do our homework. I've laid it all out. Go to quickstart at docofdetox.com. Follow the rabbit hole. Yan, we have a family of 6. Would you come to Taiwan to teach a personal treatment and training? Absolutely. And Yan already called, just so everybody knows. So this is a couple days old. And yes, we go all over the world. And what we do is we teach everybody the perfect day on an emotional, nutritional, detox level. And we teach the whole family how to do our Wolfe non-surgical. So guess what? They don't need any more practitioners or therapy or treatments or protocols unless it's an emergency, because they knew how to create the perfect day for the perfect life. Carrie, my husband has really bad heel pain when walking. What can you do? Well, here's the deal. I don't know the situation. He's probably a beer drinker. Okay. And if he's not a beer drinker, he likes alcohol. So it's, or he eats a lot of ice cream. So it's all about inflammation, crystallization. So not just crystallization, but he actually has scar tissue. Are you ready for this? He's got scar tissue in the tendon, in the heel, and it's so tender around there because your heel area is actually, it's the reflex point of his prostate. Yeah, he's inflamed. Okay, so now I had a gentleman that could only walk 40 feet, and when he came in, and what we did was Wolfe non-surgical, and I did it for about 20 minutes on each foot, and then we taught his wife how to do that, and now he can continually drink because she goes in to open up the scar tissue, and she helps to get rid of the crystallization. He also learned how to do the clapping. He also got himself DMSO, and he also got Pain Away, and he uses DMSO and Pain Away, and he puts that on 3 times a day still, because he says, I'm one of the biggest guys in real estate, and he is, in the area around here. And he says, I need to drink. If I don't drink with everybody else, then I don't make the sale. So whatever excuse you need, I say it's good to go. So he does that, and we've got him on the daily cleansing tea. I would do more with the guy because it would be really great if we could flush his liver out. But the best way to flush the liver out is with an ultimate coffee enema, which means he's got to get on the floor and he's got to put coffee up his bum instead of in his mouth. And for most men, they won't do it because they're homophobic. And I don't blame them. You know, that's the way we were raised. And most women will do it because they're going to go do it because they just want to feel better. They want to feel the love. All right. There's other things that he could do. First of all, if it's a gallbladder problem, we know that with the gallbladder, it holds what? What does the gallbladder hold? What's the gallbladder hold? The gallbladder holds anger. Okay. So we might want to look at any anger issues. And then what? Oh no, this wasn't the gallbladder. I'm sorry. Heel pain. So with the heel pain, we can work on the area, but just remember something. When you absorb waste from your large intestine, it goes into your pelvis, and then eventually it's going to go down due to gravity and crystallize. But understand, those crystals are caused from lactic and uric acid from inflammation, which is caused from infection. Got to have infection, and you can't have inflammation without infection. And the only other reason, infection from physical waste or infection due to emotional waste, which is dysfunctional beliefs that trigger the adrenals and histamine and cortisol on a continual basis, and they help to create that sticky, glicky mess. Okay? Yeah. I hope that answers some of your questions. Again, follow the rabbit hole. Grazina, how many days should we drink celery juice and broth after a 6-day fast? 3 days. 3 days. Start off easy. Some people need to do a straw because they gulp it back because they're like, they haven't calmed down the wild horses. You know, it's all about becoming the master of your mind. Like I said earlier, you know, if you were the master of your mind, you wouldn't have locked yourself in the house. You really wouldn't have, because you would have done your research and you wouldn't have been going on the news to find out what's the latest, greatest breakthrough. Because you are the breakthrough. Heather, what pH level of structured water do you use for coffee enemas? First of all, you can use tap water or any water if it's structured. Okay, first of all, the pH, do not give me a high alkaline water when you're doing it. I don't believe in high alkaline water. So today somebody came in and they have a Kangen water unit. And I said, well, what kind of water do you have? Oh, I have a Kangen. And I go, and it's structured water. I said, no, it's not structured water. Nothing electrical can make structured water. Structured water is free flow. It's not with electricity. Next thing, and I said to her, so what's the pH of your water? 9.5. I said, you're really screwing up the hydrochloric acid in your stomach. And she goes, oh my God, I think you're right. 9.5 pH is for cancer patients, is for patients that are so acidic and you don't want to do it for a long time. Believe it or not, 7 pH is enough for water. And you can go up to 8. I wouldn't even go any higher. You know what? People that sell these units, they push the whole thing about alkalinity. Yes, you want to have an alkaline pH, all right, in your body. And your body's going to fight for that. Your blood is going to fight for that. And if it's altered too much, you could die. But that's why you're pulling calcium from your tissues and your bones. And you'll pull more and more of that the more acidic you are. But the reality is, it's not, ready for this? Oh, you're going to love this one. It's such a poo-poo on most of what people believe. Structured water alkalines your tissue cells. Not Kangen water. Structured water, because the structured water is going to get into the cells a lot easier. Now, does the Kangen water get in? Yes, but I'm talking about efficiency, and I don't want to go too deep into that. So, yeah, use structured water for your coffee enema, and you'll be good to go. Jennifer, Intercom, we have a health clinic in Ireland. Would you come and certify us in your whole life coach certification and in Wolfe non-surgical? It is for my husband and myself. Yes, absolutely. I see your phone number here and your email. We'll get in touch with you on Monday. If you're watching the show, we'll get in touch with you on Monday, and we'll look at how you want to build this, and we will send and do this and put this together for you. All right? Thank you. Sherry, could somebody use a Defender crystal in their house? A Defender crystal, yeah, you could. But the reality is it's more than you need. If you wanted the Defender crystal because it's really beautiful, and you could, but it's more than you need. The Protector crystal is all you need. So everybody, this is the Protector, comes in these two colors, and then the Defender is 3 times bigger. And the Protectors and the Bodyguards, which protect you all around your body, and it protects you 24/7. The Protectors and the Bodyguards are also on sale until 12 o'clock tonight. All right? Okay. Carly, can you please explain the Cellphone Guard? Well, let me see. Where's my phone? Right here. Well, the Cellphone Guard, what I'd like to do, because it's on here, I got to take the phone off to show you. And I've got a guard here, but it's better if you see it on the phone. It's small, but it will protect you around 98% from your phone. And how does it work? It doesn't work by trying to push away EMF. You can't do that. It's called a noise field. So what it does, it's like if I started talking and a baby came in here, it would kind of scream louder. Okay? It's just like a dog whistle is a higher vibration and only a dog hears it. Okay? That's the way this works. Okay? So what it is it's a higher vibration, and it nullifies what's coming off in the way of 4G, 5G, Wi-Fi coming off your phone. Okay? But if you go and watch the actual interview with Dr. Howard Fisher, he's a lot better at this than me knowing about this. You can go to EMF/light and go look at the Smart Guard, okay? And when you go to take a look at the Smart Guard, then what you're going to see is a video. Click on that, and you're going to get a ton of information, okay? All right, Larry, trying to move through these. We are coming next month for a personal treatment and training because my wife because of my wife's messed up C-section and fibroid. Can you tell us about the accommodations you have, and is the 10-day treatment and training enough? Yes, it is. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something, buddy, and I'm going to say this to you. Nobody's going to be able to take her to the finish line but you. So here's the deal. When you're dealing with a C-section and a large fibroid, it needs to have gentle, loving care. C-sections create more scar tissue than almost any other surgery. So she's got like 2 and 3 inch roots. They can wrap around the small, large intestine, around the pubic bone, around the bladder, depending on how it was cut, whether it was up and down or cross. Okay, and it can actually stop her from pooping. It can make love-making very painful. And when you come here, you guys will get the perfect day emotionally and physically from the minute you wake up until you go to bed. And guess what, Larry? You're going to be the guy that actually lovingly pulls that fibroid apart, because she will need a treatment, okay, because I know it's really large. And so she'll need a treatment like every week. And guess what? So let's say, how about this? When you're here, we should be able to reduce the size by 30 or 40%. And then when you go home, it could take, it could take a few weeks, take a few months. It depends on whether your wife is willing to learn how to really connect to herself and not keep triggering anxiety and panic. I don't know your wife, so I'm not saying she does that. And the other thing is, will she drink the water? Will she do the perfect day? And then will she join us every 2 months on our 6-day water fasting challenge? Because if she does, that sucker's going to shrink. Okay? Whether you people want to believe this or not, the 6-day water fasting challenge will help to eat up tumors and fibroids. It'll help to tighten your skin. It'll help to get rid of the beef jerky that causes all disease. It'll help to melt the crystallization. It'll help the calcification to be restored back into the bones. So, they say that if you do anywhere from a 9 or 12-day fast, which you can do, but you don't have to worry about rushing. Do intermittent fasting on our perfect day, then go to 1 day, then go to 3 day, then go to 6 day. Try the 6 day with us, and if you only go that day, who cares? Good to you. At least, you know what? It's called, their only failure in life is giving up. That's it. There are no other failures. Repetition is the key. Man, do you know how much I screw up? I screw up continually. I don't need anybody's approval about whether I'm successful or not. I don't take anything personal when I screw up, because I'm going to screw up a lot. And then when I perfect something, I'm going to go find something that I can screw up for a while and perfect that. So stop beating up on yourself. And then really know that you can do this. Fasting's amazing. So if you do like a fast anywhere, it's different people. They've done studies, 9 to 12 days. It's like doing $100,000 stem cell therapy. Yeah, I'm not kidding. So that's the deal. And we prove it all the time. And people don't believe it. And then when they start doing this, they're just like blown away. Okay? So there you go, Larry. I hope I answered your question. Shane, are you still doing the online whole life coach certification? How do I sign up for it? Yeah, we're going to be picking a date, and right now it's going to either be in August or it's going to be in September. I just have to make sure I organize myself and I have enough people helping me with all the projects I've got going on. Jim, my wife has calcium deposits in her breast. How would you deal with this? I would go watch the SAC calcium videos and read the 33-page guide. I would go to quick start at docofdetox.com, and then you know what? She's got calcium deposits, because calcium deposits is the body telling her that she's in trouble. Because first of all, you're going to get inflammation. First, you're going to get pain, inflammation, and then you're going to get swelling. Then you're going to get lymph node problems. Then you're going to get scar tissue. Then you're going to get calcium deposits, and then cancer. Now, I'm not saying all the time, so I didn't say all the time, and it might not go in just that order, but I've been working with breast cancer patients for 30 years, okay? So she's going to have to look at her bowel, do the liver thing. She's going to have to look at clapping. There's a certain way to do it, but we've got to go in, if she lives near here, with Wolfe non-surgical. Just think if we went in here and we opened up her sternum, all that crystallization and scar tissue. And what about all the scar tissue? I guarantee she had a bra with a wire in it, which means she was pulling in EMF and Wi-Fi, and she's got a strip of scar tissue right under her breast. Any woman, you'll feel it. You'll feel it. And then she's got another from the bra. She's got a big pad of scar tissue right here blocking the lymph. So now she's going to back up her lymph, and then guess what? It's going to back up into her breast. So we got to get rid of the scar tissue here, scar tissue under here. open up the sternum lovingly using Wolfe non-surgical. And then we're going to work up in this area. And also we're going to work on the back area right here, right where the scapula is. We're going to open all this up because guess what? Physical blocks around. Look at, come on. She's encased. Every woman is encased. Even if they don't have calcium deposits, every woman is encased from the bras, okay? Because the bras aren't made well. And then most of them wear the wire bras. So I haven't worked on a woman yet, okay, that hasn't had beef jerky and scar tissue in here. And guess what happens as soon as we work on them? Anybody we do, men or women, increase their oxygen supply to their lungs by about 30%. You think I'm kidding? Yeah. Guess what? Physical blocks don't allow expansion. So we want to do that. Want to do the clapping. I want her to do skin brushing on her breasts every day. I want her to do the salt glow on her breasts. I want you, it would be great if I could teach you how to do the work on her with the Wolfe non-surgical and then how to do the gentle lymph draining for her. Wouldn't it be great? You get to work your wife's breasts and help her. And understand something. All of this work, it does a natural breast lift. Okay? Because the breast will fall down with the more blocks we have, the less circulation. Okay? When we lose circulation, boom. Ask any man that can't go boom, his circulation has gone downstairs. Okay? So it's all about circulation for tone. Okay? Like I said, everyone, and please don't get me wrong, find someone that follows our techniques or does it, or get yourself a whole life coach. You know, I keep telling people this, and, you know, people will keep calling for, and it's okay. We're not going to get upset. You can keep calling with your Band-Aid questions, but that's what we're going to give you, a Band-Aid. When we can sit down and actually give you a strategy from the time you wake up until you go to bed, that's what I call working it. Okay? All right. Text. Hi, Dr. Wolfe. I have a terrier who was diagnosed with prostate cancer right off the bat. I guarantee he wasn't on the best food. He was on kibble, which is basically refined carbohydrates, and his bowels are messed up. A few weeks ago, he started to struggle to urinate and defecate again. Well, of course. Okay. Get him on the daily cleansing tea. Get him on the tummy love. Get him on the black gold. I will teach you how to do that. If you let me know, and then I'm going to teach you, if you want to do a FaceTime, I'll show you how to do some work and how you can help to get in there and actually open up the blocks in your dog's bowels. And that means you've got to try to go in there and you use what we call a flange technique that I'll show you. And you go in and you work on your dog's hips and the back of its spine and open the circulation. After a naturopath changed his diet to just take turkey mince from the raw diet he's been on for 9 years of turkey and veg biological appropriate raw diet. After his ultrasound, we started him on Baytril antibiotic protein. Whoa. Okay. Prostate drug, and ordered him CBD and THC oil. Then on to, oh my gosh, there's so much here. Love Doug mushroom powders, immune system. There's so much. I don't even know what she's asking me now. He's eating his treats. What do you suggest? I suggest you give me a call and understand something. Eating now, his bowel movements have formed. They were very loose. Well, okay. He's eating his treats. Stop giving him treats. That's for one thing. You don't give dog treats. You don't give dog treats. Treats are not good for dogs. And what are those treats? Well, they're usually sweet treats. They're usually refined carbs. Okay. Now, whether it's a dog or anybody else, when they've got diarrhea, they've got parasite problems, look at fembendazole. Fembendazole, and get your dog and get the worms out of your dog. Any dog that has prostate problems, bowel problems, has worms. So get your dog on that product. Krista, what supplements do you take daily? I will talk about that in the Perfect Day nutritional supplement detox, where we talk about different products for different things. And understand, when we go on there and talk about products, everybody, you know what? Try to find similar products if you don't want to buy ours, but just know this. We do have warehouses, 3 of them, all throughout the United States, spread out so that you get your products quickly. and it's free shipping after over $49. Beth, I will be doing this not next week, but the following week, going through products, and I'll tell you what I personally take myself, and there's a reason why I do it and why I don't take other things, and I'm going to go through that. Okay, Beth, can you tell me anything about inner ear disorder? Well, they're only started to get bad. Inner ear disorder is actually going to get bad when 5G comes into your area, because even blue light will give inner ear disorder. The 5G is just going to cause ringing in people's ears to drive them nuts. So that's why we tell people they should be getting like a protector for the home, a bodyguard, things like that, getting unstructured water, anything to bring down the acidity and the EMFs and the negative frequencies that your blood takes up, that your lymph takes up, that your intercellular and extracellular fluid takes up. We want to get rid of that. And if you have an inner ear problem, please go to my do-it-yourself videos on YouTube and take a look at Ear Restore, and I promise you, it shows you exactly what to do. I go through everything on that. So you're using like a silver bullet liquid, you're using Fulvic, Bright Eyes, eye drops, and yes, the Fulvic in the ear, it pulls out the heavy metals, the acidity, the silver, creates an environment that things like fungus and bacteria, and it helps both of those reduce the inflammation so the ear will heal. And then we've got what's called Ear Restore. And Ear Restore is a blend of oil and essential oils that go in to heal the ear. Okay? And then I show you how to do it. I show you how to do like hot packs, how to move the ear properly. I show you actually how to clap around the ear, because it's all about blocks. Okay? I hope that helps. Again, if you want to call for more information, just call the office. The two vestibular nerves in the inner ear send your brain information about your navigation and balance control. That's right. So your balance goes off because they're inflamed and they actually get crystallized and scar tissue wraps around them. How are you going to get that out of there? Because no matter if it's in your ear or in your rear, it's always the same thing. It could be in your toe. It's crystallization, scar tissue, or displaced calcium. Okay? There's no cure. I don't know what to do. Start there. Give me a call. My extension is 5. I'll give you some more tips, and we'll see what we can do. Steve, my wife is trying to talk me into doing daily cleansing tea, tummy love, black gold, the ultimate coffee enema. I don't understand why I would need to if I am having 2 bowel movements a day. Okay. First of all, let us start listening to our wives. They love us and care for us. And men are just stubborn. They're stubborn. Yeah, they're really stubborn. Okay? The reality is I have patients. Right now, I'm dealing with, probably around 30, somewhere it was around 30, maybe 32 cancer patients. And believe it or not, I think about 6 of those have bowel cancer. And understand, some of them are having 2 and 3 bowel movements a day, but they have bowel cancer. So I'm going to leave that with you and tell you that the day that you start looking after your detoxification organs is the day you take your life back. Okay? Nor, hello, doctor, is it possible to link tea tablets to clean the body of toxins for autistic son? Yeah, you do not have to take daily cleansing tea. It just works on all the organs. The daily cleansing tea caps, which are these, and they come in bigger bottles. We use these for traveling, and we already use these for autistic children. That's right, because a lot of them won't drink the tea. So yeah, you can use the daily cleansing tea caps for them, but still try to see if you can get the tummy love into their drinks too, even if it's a little bit. Okay, Jim, what is good to do for tinnitus? I just answered that. And go to the do-it-yourself videos and look at ear restoration, okay? All right, and it's on YouTube. Thank you. Foy, what are the differences between the 2 water units? Also, I heard one of your videos, there was another more advanced type of water unit that helps. Thanks for your help. We have a stainless steel unit, and it's gold-plated in the middle. And let's put it this way. It's built more sturdier. The vibration is higher, but it's more expensive. Whereas the structure water unit and we have one that's for the shower, one that's for the house. These are maybe hard acrylic, but the reality is that the difference between this and the stainless steel doesn't justify the money. Okay? And this, you can travel anywhere with it, put it in your purse. This goes where you go. This can go under any tap. You can put anything through this, even juice. You can put anything that you drink through this. It's going to structure it. And also, if you want, everyone, there's a sheet. If you go into the Structure Water Guide, you'll see that there's a sheet that has like 20 different things that you can do with structure water. It'll blow your mind. Structure water is amazing. That's what rainwater is. That's what nature makes for us. And that's what our ancestors used to drink, was just structure water. Brooklyn, sorry, I don't think I was clear with my question. I was wondering if you could use an EMR meter in one of your live presentations to show how the crystals and the smart guards protect the Wi-Fi radiation 5G, like a before and after. Guess what? We did last night. Last night was Thursday. Last night we did 5G crystal energy therapy. You'll see it up on YouTube. It's up on YouTube right now, right? And you'll see when people had questions, he took his meter out and showed that with the meter, how it was testing. And I'll just tell you right now, it came up 0. Okay? But I want you to go see it for yourself. So go there, and proof is in the pudding. And she's talking about like things like the protector for the house, and then the bodyguards and things of that nature. Michelle, not sure if I understood correctly, but does dehydration cause scar tissue in the brain? Boom. Yes, it does. It causes dehydration in the brain. And if so, can the scar tissue be mistaken for cancer? Yes, it can. Boy, I'll tell you, this is a smart girl. I'm going to tell you something right now. Fibroids can be mistaken for cancer. You know what? Another thing that gets mistaken is people, doctors will go and do an x-ray of your knee, your hip, or your spine and say, oh my God, guess what? There's no disc left. It's very thin. Well, actually, the whole disc is still there. It's dehydrated like beef jerky. And we can prove that by working on somebody. And most people that come in here have like L5, L4. Okay. And that's where they want to actually infuse them. And we'll work on them for 20 minutes. And guess what? They don't have to go for surgery. Okay. Don't want to believe it? Fine. Sciatica, same thing. We're going to go in and work on the sacroiliac joints. And usually it takes us about 20 minutes to an hour. We'll unravel that thing. And guess what? Your foot's flat on the floor. You don't have that pain running down your leg. Oh, but let me tell you, if you go to a surgeon, he's going to want to do surgery. Okay? All right? If you go to a doctor, they can only prescribe prescriptions. If you come to me, it's going to be nature, and it's going to be Wolfe non-surgical, and we're going to take that scar tissue issue apart, and it's going to turn into connective tissue. Remember, scar tissue is just beautiful connective tissue, tendon, ligament, muscle that has been dehydrated from inflammation, which is a fire. Just like if you put a steak on a barbecue, keep it there long enough, it's going to be a piece of beef jerky. End of story. Anybody wants to challenge me on this? Love to do it. You know what? Love to do it, because guess what? There is so much misinformation, so many people getting surgery, so many people on drugs, so many people getting other therapies. You know what? I have a doctorate in acupuncture. I hardly ever do it anymore because it's not the root. It will balance energies, but the reality is get rid of the physical blocks. Carrie, where do you live? I'm in Australia and would love constant ion. Don't know what that is. Where do I live? I live in Kelowna, British Columbia, and we are thinking of doing an actual course in Australia. Anybody who wants to get in touch with me, I'll let you know how that's going. And it's could happen in a place called Victoria, Australia. Thank you. Shanna, can a raw plant-based diet heal chronic health issues? Well, you know what? It's definitely a brilliant step, okay? But it's part of the picture. It's called whole body healing, emotional and physical. And again, what did I tell you? You know what? I'm going to tell you. You get somebody who's really stiff, in pain, and get them on a diet, get them on proper high-frequency supplementation, you're going to get rid of the inflammation. But what about the stiffness? What about the stiffness? You know the difference between someone who feels old and someone who is older that feels young? It's a scar tissue displaced calcium issue. And that's why we do Wolfe non-surgical. And that's why, guess what? Whether you want to believe it or not, almost nobody gets well. They're just not suffering in pain. If you're going to tell me that after that surgery, because you're not in pain, but you're stiff and that's a healing, I'll tell you it's not. And if you're going to tell me that you're going to get surgery, I'm going to tell you that 6 weeks to 3 months after that, you better get your butt here. And we'll go in and we'll remove the scar tissue, and you'll have the flexibility like new. Don't waddle, don't limp, and don't let them teach you to become a victim. Shanna, can a raw plant-based... Okay, got that one. We're moving. Mariola, when doing the coffee enema, I noticed that my bowel movements became irregular. Yeah, they will, because you're dumping really heavy-duty toxins, and it can be coming from your gallbladder and your liver when you do that. Why would that happen, and how can it be prevented? It won't be, but it will. The more coffee enemas you do, the more you detoxify that liver and gallbladder, and you get rid of the worms in your bowel, the more that's going to calm down. Okay, and don't be afraid to call us and just tell us how many coffee enemas you're doing, what your weight is, what your condition is, and I'd love to help you. Wendy, have you ever done a dry fast? Absolutely. When I forget to drink water. Okay, so there's been times that but I'm not going to do a dry fast. Why would I do that? You know what? I'm actually fasting with structured water, Ormus, fulvic, ATP, salt water in the morning. If I feel my bowel movements are too slow, I'll actually kick in the daily cleansing tea. And I might even sometimes add super cinnamon or lemon lift or orange burst to my water when I need a little pick-me-up. Because guess what? Most people falter. I get to go and do work. I'm working all day. Okay, today is day 5, right, Drake? Yeah, this is day 5 of my fast. So tomorrow's 6, then there's 7. I'll come off on Monday. Now, think about this. Do I look burnt out? Do I look like I don't have any energy? Okay, so you got to say to yourself, I got to have strategy here. I want a strategy for success, not one that my subconscious wins and says I'm a failure at this. Okay, so that's why, again, we need a coach. What is your advice on Crohn's disease? Crohn's disease is kind of like colitis of the small intestine. Okay, colitis of the small intestine. And what are my things on this? Well, you got to get the emotional. Okay, first of all, I don't want to shut this person down, but Crohn's disease is a really chronic problem. And it's life debilitating. And it'll cut 5 to 15 years off your life. And you could end up having a piece of your small intestine cut out. I would say get a consult. If you're not happy, ask for a refund. Okay? And the only reason why I say this is because people go, oh, I've done this, I've done that, I've done this. But understand, it's inflammation in your small intestine. That inflammation is eating holes in your intestine. Scar tissue is coming to replace that, and it's called lead pipe disease. So the reality is how are you going to get the scar tissue out? How are you going to stop inflaming your brain through anxiety and discomfort? You know what? I'm going to tell you something. Did you want to know something? I know it's not Crohn's disease, but it's colitis. Every year, M&M Meats, okay, it's a meat place. They actually throw a barbecue, okay, for the Colitis Foundation. Can you believe this? I mean, and guess what? People who have colitis actually come there and they eat their hot dogs and they eat their burgers and then they go home and they have flaming diarrhea for 4 days, but they don't know what's going on. Okay? Understand something. I want to say this, and I mean this in the best way. But there is not a disease that somebody isn't running a dislike or hate program on a subconscious level that they're not aware of, because the invisible is everything. Okay? The Crohn's disease, I would really tell you to get a consult, and we'll rock your world. I mean that. Okay. Tracy, thyroid. So that's what it is. And understand, wherever the inflammation is in the body, it doesn't change too much except for some of the supplementation, how much we take, when we should do it, why we should do it, and the diet. If I had Crohn's disease, we're definitely not going to be on laxative products. We're definitely not going to be on any inflammatory products. More bland for a while, but we're also going to gently go step by step, because with Crohn's disease, you got to go in and get rid of the scar tissue, but you can't create too much circulation or they'll inflame them again. So that's why yeah, you can reverse it. Are you ready to get a good strategy? Tracy, thyroid issues would be nice to hear about. All right. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a whole talk on thyroid. Can you put that in our book? But I'm going to tell you something right now. Look at the iodine problem, the radiation problem, and look at terrorizing yourself. So there's the main reasons. Did you get that? Those are the main reasons. All right. And people say, well, I've gained weight because of my thyroid. No, you've got thyroid problems because you had too much inflammation. Okay. And you were also terrorizing yourself. Or guess what? You work on a computer, or you're on an iPad, or you're on your phone all the time, and your thyroid is only 2 centimeters deep right here. And guess what? Unless you wear a scarf when you're on a computer or an iPad, or you have your phone if you're on it all the time, you're causing blue light poisoning to your thyroid. Now, you see this bodyguard? Amazing. Okay, another thing, we don't have it in right now. Our infinite iodine is amazing for that. The other thing is, we need to see if we need to reduce the weight with this person, or is this person underweight? Okay, and when you look at a person with a thyroid problem, the first thing I look at is not the condition they have, but the condition they're in. And I'm not saying you're insane. I'm not saying you're crazy. It's just that you, okay, are your mother, your father, the school, the church you went to, and the beliefs that you got from them create the program. And understand something. Cancer is not genetic. Disease is not genetic. That's already been proven with the genome factor. So just understand that. They really blew it on that one. But my mother had thyroid problems, and her grandmother had thyroid problems. And you know what? I'm so scared about getting thyroid problems. Guess what? I'm so scared about getting thyroid problems. So that means it's a major focus. So whatever you focus on, you get more of. There, I told you about thyroid problems, but I will do something, okay? Make sure we put out something, right? And I'll put out information on it, but then I'll put out what I would do if I had a thyroid problem. But again, I can't go into great detail because personality is really wrapped around the thyroid. And the other thing you should be looking at is Divine Vine. Divine Vine, Infinite Iodine, Bodyguard, okay? And stop triggering the stress factor. And of course, there's the perfect day diet, structure water, other things like that. Karen, do the properties of the crystals last forever? Yes. She's talking about the Bodyguard. She's talking about the Protector. She's talking about the Guardian, which is for your 50 acre garden, and then she's talking about the Defender. That's for a 50 acre school, as big as that, or a factory. So no, they don't lose their power. It's not like that. Maria, will the Bodyguard get rid of mold, fungus in the body? You know what it'll do? It'll protect the whole environment around you, but you're going to need to get into a detoxification and nutrition protocol to actually get rid of that, because I already told you that fungus, which is mold, it actually is alive. It goes in and it roots and it digs holes and it roots into your tissues. So no, this is not going to pull this out. This is not going to pull a carrot out of the ground either, okay? But it's going to change the environment to help to assist. Okay. Dawn, can the crystal stop mold growth in the home? Yes. Yes, it can, but not a dripping, leaking behind the wall, which I discussed already. Dustin, I have colitis. I got it from vaccines when I was 14. I was told it is the same thing as Crohn's, but not spreading. It's not the same. It's in a different area. It's in your large intestine. Colitis stands for colon and inflammation. Itis is inflammation. I have stopped following the regimen of pills and enemas. I started using MMS, aka sodium chloride, that it is easy to buy and haven't had any issue in over 13 years. I used to get flare-ups every year prior. Great. That's good. But just remember something. You might want to take a look at Tummy Love and the Daily Cleansing Tea, all right? Not just for the colitis. You don't want to back up waste into the large intestine, your lymph system, your kidneys, or anything else. Your large intestine will cause havoc everywhere else. It's called the domino effect. So just be on top of that. Carol Sue, my life mate is in bad shape physically and mentally. After 40 years, I'm ready to bail. What could help? He is full of negative energy. How can I protect myself? You need to strategize. And if it's been that long, you need to leave. And the only reason why you stayed that long is because you were programmed as a child. And believe it or not, he didn't change. He might have even gotten a little bit worse, but he didn't change. But you're changing. You don't want to be abused anymore. Okay, let me just say something. I'm not trying to be a smarty. But, if you want to call and get an emotional consultation, we'll help you strategize. Now, I'm not talking about strategize leaving, but strategize in protecting your soul, your heart, your spirit. And then you'll be able to make the right decisions, because it's courage you need, girl. It's courage you need. And where do you get the courage from? When you finally love, honor, respect, and protect yourself first and foremost, so that even if, your voice shivers, you get your voice and you become the light of your life. You fill up your own heart. This is so very important. Okay? So first we want to take a look at that, and then we'll help you. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. In most cases, men don't change. They don't change. Men don't change. Okay? They've been programmed to say, I know best. I'm the man of the house. Well, you know what? That was like back when we were in the cave and they were out fighting dinosaurs and tigers. And today it's beer and hockey, okay? And tacos, all right? So the reality is, and trust me, men, they're not really impressive today. For one thing, they're supposed to protect the home. And tell me they do that. They don't protect the home. They don't say, hey, that food, it's toxic, sweetheart. Let's change. No, they say, bring down the toxic food. Bring it all on. Fatso, get all bloated, and she's trying to change, and oh gosh. Don't tell me. Men are so programmed, that's why we're in this mess. If men actually were what we would call what a man was supposed to do is protect his family, and every man did that, or not every man, but maybe just 60% or 50%, we wouldn't have been in lockdown, would we? No, because every man ran for the hills, all right? Because he's so busy with out in the garage, okay, or watching his sports, okay, that he doesn't, or watching the news, because he's so programmed, he really doesn't know what's going on. There you go. So I'm not really impressed with men at all. Oh, wait a minute, I am one. Well, until men release their feminine power, okay, because a man's supposed to be a man and he's not supposed to be emotional. He's supposed to suppress his emotions, and he's supposed to be a bully. It's not working. Okay. Michelle, what is a good start on decreasing inflammation in the brain? Thought is the first thing. The SAC calcium, the pineal elixir. Okay, I'll show it to you. Pineal elixir. Okay, it's life crystals. We're the only one in the world with them. They'll actually regenerate the brain tissue. Drink enough structured water. Stop eating inflammatory foods. And believe it or not, I could show you a clapping technique. This is a clapper, but you can use your hand, that you do on the nape of your neck. You do it on your vagus nerve on either side, and you do it on your back. And guess what? You can, and maybe also, if you could come and get some Wolfe non-surgical, or come with your hubby and learn, we could go in here, and believe it or not, everybody's occiput is frozen at the atlas and the axis. And they usually people have big, hard, like right here, these two bumps, we call those the upper eyes. They're thick with scar tissue and crystallization, and it's closing off circulation to the brainstem. Nobody thinks about going in and getting rid of the scar tissue in the spine. We do an hour and a half treatment starting at the coccyx, go in between every vertebrae and in between the spinous processes, and we clean out all the scar tissue crystallization, and we go from the coccyx right up to the brainstem, and guess what? We'll measure you before we do it, and we'll measure you after, and you'll be anywhere from, ready, 3/4 of an inch to 2 inches taller, depending on how dehydrated your discs are. You actually don't shrink down because of bone loss. You do it because your discs become beef jerky, and that's why people end up having spinal fusion, and that's why they end up getting steel rods put in their spine, because they say they have stenosis and the nerve died, which is another lie. Whether they know they're lying or not, the nerve is not dead. As soon as you go in and you work on releasing the scar tissue, the crystallization, and the calcification, and guess what? That's the first treatment. The nerve is now responding again. You can't see it because of the scar tissue. Wow. Yeah. So, I know it seems like, oh, yeah, well, you haven't heard of this before, and it's like he's making all this up. Well, I guess that's why we have a money-back guarantee, on our treatments and on our consultations. The reality is why do we do that? Well, because if the majority's not doing it, it probably isn't true. And no matter what the majority's doing, even if it's not working on the first 20 million people, we're going to do it anyways because our subconscious rules us, and our subconscious is 90% of our brain. And if we are not in the conscious moment, which most people are only in the conscious moment for 2 to 5% of their day, as you can notice, you can get yourself in trouble. Debbie, how do you know if you have Candida? How to get rid of it? Well, you can have sinus problems. You can have itchy ears. You can have an itchy anus. That could also be parasites. You can have vaginitis. You can have toe fungus. You can have jock itch, eczema, psoriasis. You can, and sometimes you can feel itchy and see scaling. If you see white scaling and white powdery stuff on your skin, that's fungus. Okay, breathing problems all the time, that's fungus. Those are the main things right there. Okay. How do you get rid of it? We already discussed that earlier. I hope you can go back and take a look. Brian, Dr. Wolfe, another question. Once prostate is enlarged, what can be done to shrink it? It's enlarged because it's inflamed. Understand something. Why do people get bigger? Because of what? Because of what? Because they're toxic. Okay. So why do they get bigger then if they're toxic, Dr. Wolfe? Well, they get bigger because they're toxic, because they get inflamed, and then they start retaining water, and they make fat cells to store the toxins so they don't have a stroke, heart attack, seizure, or cancer, or to prevent diabetes, all of this stuff. Okay, so what's that got to do with people getting bigger, Dr. Wolfe? Well, you've been reabsorbing your own waste from your large intestine long enough that it's in your pelvis, which is a soup bowl, and now when you went and infected that area, you inflamed the prostate, and now the prostate is going to get bigger with inflammation, just like I showed you, just like I told you. So now let's remove the toxic lifestyle. Let's bring the inflammation down, and no more infection. Let's go into the pelvis with Wolfe non-surgical. Let's lovingly pull the scar tissue apart that's all wrapped around the prostate area and around your pubic bone and in around your groin, and we'll go and we'll also work your coccyx from your sacrum down to your coccyx. We win. And we also, we can do CBD suppository. Oh yeah, but not in Canada. Okay, only in the United States. And 250 milligram. And if you're willing to put that up there, understand something. There's been a lot of research out of France, and I've got the information to prove, because when you do CBD in your mouth, you only absorb 15%. When you do it in your bowel, you absorb 60%. Wow. Amazing, eh? And it's been proven that 150 milligrams can actually turn around prostate inflammation and cancers in the body when you get 150 milligrams. And that's what we're doing when we deliver that. And okay, and then guess what? If you don't mind buying a vibrator, okay, a rectal vibrator about that long, and then you put that in your rectum morning and night just for a few minutes, the vibration increases circulation. And guess what? Increase circulation, get rid of infection, bring down the inflammation. Wow. I know what I'm talking about. I've been doing this for 35 years. I was doing prostate cancer and prostate problems back 35 years ago when men could hardly even walk, and then they would leave feeling like they never even had it. Because guess what? Inflammation causes crystallization and everything's sticky down there, so it's hard to move. So as soon as you unstick things, okay, then you don't feel that pull. That's why when you have surgery, you feel like there's pulling and knotting. You got to get rid of the you got to get rid of the scar tissue from surgery. And any place you've had inflammation for too long, you're going to have tons of scar tissue, crystallization, which is lactic and uric acid, and that's a real pain in the butt. Okay, there's other things we would do, but you'll need to call for a consult, and I'll take you through it step by step, because if we create the perfect day, we relieve you of the inflammation. Okay, that's it. I mean, just think about it. If you were the master of your life every day, from the minute you wake up till you go to bed, bingo, that's it. YouTube, is there anything else I could use in an enema beside coffee? As coffee doesn't agree with me, well then just use Tummy Love. That's it. Use Tummy Love. What else do I want to say? No, I would just, you could use Tummy Love, because that will trigger it anyway. And just if you're going to do it, just put in about 1 ounce of Tummy Love into your enema. Coffee, okay. And the other thing, can I say something? With the coffee enema, what if you didn't use 2 tablespoons? What if you just used a teaspoon the first time, and you gradually increased it? And I'll tell you why it doesn't settle with you. You don't have to do it, but the reason why it doesn't settle with you is because you got trouble with your liver, and you've got too much coffee. I mean, too much of the caffeine is triggering the liver, and it's going, holy crap, we got so much going on in here. So just use even just a teaspoon. Or remember, if 2 tablespoons is 6 teaspoons, so just use 1 tablespoon, and then you use Black Gold when you're boiling the water, and then put Tummy Love in the enema bag. Let me know. Actually, give me a call, okay? It's from YouTube. She didn't give a name, because it's got to be a she, because he's wouldn't say XX thank you. Coffee. All right. So, and if you want to give me a call, but I would really do the coffee. You know what? Oh my God, I can't do that. Well, just tippy toe. It just means that you have almost like autoimmune disease in your liver, because it's oversensitive. It's like, did somebody ever irritate you for like a week, and then you saw them and it's like right away they just made your hair stand on end? Same thing. Okay? You've been irritating your liver for a long time. Martha, what is good for high blood pressure and ringing in the ears? Well, first of all, high blood pressure can cause ringing in the ears. How's that? So high blood pressure is physical blocks in the body. Okay? And there's usually, you'll find the blocks, the heart, because the heart, and you'll also find blocks in the bowel. What the bowel got to do with it? Oh, come on. It has a lot to do with it. So, get your bowels moving. Try to do the ultimate coffee enema. Take a look in the book for that. But start drinking more water, and try to make it structured water, and go to a whole plant-based diet. That'll bring the blood pressure down. Now, as far as the ears ringing goes, make sure you turn off the Wi-Fi at night when you go to bed, or hardline everything. That's what people are going to need to do, And the other thing is take a look at the Ear Restore video on our Do-It-Yourself YouTube channel, okay, on Doc of Detox. Really look at it. It really does work. And just learn all those things. And then I'm going to actually, in the clapping class, I'm going to show how to do certain conditions like ear, eyes for clapping, and I'm going to tell the other products you need to do. I am just going to be continually coming on here. You're just going to want to just turn that off. Okay. All right. Christine, many are suffering from depression. Any tips? Oh, well, it's all a program. First of all, you cannot suffer from depression unless you have anxiety. When you have anxiety on a continual basis, it heats up your brain and causes inflammation. Your brain actually puts you into depression so you don't create scar tissue formation and actually stroke out. Did you hear what I just said? There it is. Now, depression is having no hope And I'm not into hope. I think hope sucks. But it's having no faith in the future, having no faith in yourself, and believing that someone else is in control of your life. If you could learn how to master your day, have the perfect day on an emotional and physical level, you wouldn't be depressed. It's because nobody's ever given you the tools to think right. You are actually running negative thoughts all the time. And you're not running any positive ones. Any ones that are saying that you have unlimited power, that you're amazing, you're beautiful, and that which created the universe loves you. And you've created dread. And that's what happens. So, anxiety causes what? Continual anxiety. Inflammation. We know that. You're dumping adrenaline, cortisol in your body, creating all kinds of pain, but you're creating inflammation in your brain, because we know that you can take a look at a person, and wherever you find the cancer in their body, you can see that it relates to a certain area, and there'll be scar tissue there in the brain. Go figure, eh? Okay. Mary, I have a Berkeley water system, but I have a structure water system. You're on a roll, girl. You're on a roll. And you know what? I wouldn't just do a Berkey, because a Berkey water system, you get addicted to the carbon, okay? And I will tell you something. When you structure that a Berkey, now you've just brought your hydration up 1,000%. Tell me, there's no surface tension. It feels like silk, and you can drink like a whole quart, where with the Berkey, you can only do a glass. So there's the difference. Does it matter if I structure the water before I put it into the Berkey water system? No, you can structure it before, but or you can structure it after. I always like to structure it after, okay, if I had it, but you can do it before. It still stays structured. The only time structured water breaks down is when the sun is directly hitting it, okay? That's why in a pool, if you don't have a structure thing in your pool this summer, just put a bucket of structured water in your pool every day in the morning, and it'll stay structured. You could actually swim under the water, and the chlorine won't burn your eyes. How is that? Amazing, eh? Okay. Mickey, how can I get rid of belly fat? Okay, we already talked about that, Mickey. I'm not trying to cut you off. But, Mickey, belly fat is your luggage rack, okay? And you need extra luggage. You need a rack to put the luggage on, and that would be inflammation and toxins, and it's because of your day, your lifestyle. Mentally, physically, nutritionally, what are you putting in your mouth? What are you putting in your mind? Okay, take a look at Quick Start. Send me an email, quickstart@docofdetox.com. Follow the rabbit hole. And then if you think it's worth it, spend $125 and get yourself a coach, and we'll get rid of that fat, and that's that. Sophia, good morning, Doc, from Melbourne, Australia. My daughter is suffering from slow movement and has hip problems. What can I do to help her? Well, first of all, get a coach, because you're calling for your daughter. That means that you're already supporting her, and she's not initiating this. Now, what if we could get rid of the inflammation and the infection? Great. So let's see what her flexibility is after she gets on the perfect day and detoxifies her detoxification organs, and we get rid of the inflammation out of her pelvis and the hips. And do understand something, everybody. Hip replacement, unless you're in a car accident, is caused because of your large intestine. Nobody told you that, right? So here you are pooping into your pelvis, which you are, okay? You're absorbing that waste into your pelvis. So infection, inflammation, and guess what? What happens if I were to drip, drip, drip into a bowl long enough? Oh, it would go over the sides, wouldn't it? Oh, wait, what's on the sides? Oh, God, there's hips there. So that means that the infection and the inflammation gets into my hips. Oh, there you go. Now inflammation, crystallization, scar tissue. Now you're going to have the tissue inside the joint rubbing on each other like sandpaper. So understand something. And then they do an x-ray and they say there's no tissue left. Well, it's calcified. It's still in there. It's very rare that you'll actually have to go to surgery. Okay? My son, Kim, has hydrocephalus and a cyst in his brain. Had 15 brain operations. Whoa. already and has a VP shunt. Okay, first of all, I can appreciate this, Kim. My extension's number 5 if you live in North America. If not, what you can do is go to Intercom and just say there that you want me to call you. Give me your phone number, and I'll call anybody anywhere around the world, and we'll have a little talk. You know what? I don't want to just give information here. I need to see the situation. I might meet you on, if you don't mind, on Skype, and we'll take a look at you and your son. We'll take a look at the picture. Picture's worth 1,000 words, and then we can see where we go from there. Because you know what? Your son and you deserve a break. Abby, what can be done about nerve damage leading to foot drop? I'm sorry, the nerve is not damaged. I guarantee, not guarantee, but 99% that it's scar tissue wrapped around it. And guess what? It's not nerve damage. They always say that. So did somebody take a knife and cut it? Were you in a car accident where something went through and cut it? Then there's not nerve damage. There's scar tissue and crystallization that's wrapped itself around it. And what happens is that acts like a physical block, so you don't have nerve transmission. But what you do have is inflammation, because the nerve will not slide properly, and now the nerve, you've got all this crystallization, and the crystallization is pushing on the nerve and causing pain. Oh, I just wish somebody would come on and just challenge me on this stuff. And then what I really would like is the Abby to come here and then say, hey, I'll come and you can work on me, and I'll say I won't charge you, and I'll show you that that's not true. Because we have people calling every day with this problem saying the nerve is damaged or the nerve is dead. Thank you very much. I've heard enough of that one. Jess, how do I have the perfect day when I'm tired all the time? Well, Jess, you didn't read the perfect day guide yet. So if you go through the perfect day guide and start making changes in your belief systems, okay? All right, that sounds pretty depressing, doesn't it? So make changes in your belief systems, okay? Read the perfect day guide, okay? And then start initiating what's in there. So open up the perfect day guide in the library, or send an email at quickstart@docofdetox.com, and then start initiating this and start doing these things. You know what? How much do you love yourself? How much time would you actually spend with the God-given gift of a body you've been given? I love this body. I am going to look after this body. This body is going to take me to the point that one day I'll just fall asleep and leave, and it will be there, but it will not become my curse. Oh my God, it really sucks to grow old. I'm in pain. I feel old. I've got headaches. You know what? My mind is still sharp, but my body's wearing out. This isn't fair. I'll tell you what's not fair. Been given a manual that is BS, that was actually built for you to do this so that you would fall into farmland. And I put a video up for you this weekend, and it's called, what's it called? Farmageddon. Okay, you're going to love that one. Okay, Maria, how can I get my kidneys to filter? I'm vegan. I meditate. I walk. I tap. Do reflexology on self. Well, tapping is not really, you want to do clapping, not tapping. Tapping is good on an energy level to a certain degree, but remember something. If your kidneys aren't filtering, that's blocks. I guarantee that you got bowel problems. I'll put money on it. And then we'll take a look if you'll do the liver thing. We'll do that with you. But the reality is, if we work on the bowel and then we work on the area around the kidneys, because believe it or not, you don't know this, but your bowel, especially on your left side, is which is called your splenic flexure, which is the last third of your bowel, is right up against the kidneys. And guess what? On that corner, people really get constipated. You reabsorb waste, and you really hurt the kidneys. Now, the other thing that hurts the kidneys is always triggering your adrenals, because your adrenals are like a cap on top of the kidney, right? So understand something. If this cap is overheating, what do you think it's doing to the kidney? They're one and the same, okay? There's a lot of other things I could say. Do reflexology, that's nice, but reflexology stimulates the nerve of the kidney. Okay, I do the pee test. I just have a few small particles in the sample. Well, that's fine. But the reality is it's constriction. Where's the constriction and where's the block? That's what I would want to find. It's always about that. Helen, how would, again, I'm going to keep on coming back to, if you follow the rabbit hole and go to quickstart@docofdetox.com, it's like this. You know what? My life is really hectic. I've never taken in control, or I've never been in charge of my life. And the reality is I need you to give me a Band-Aid thing right now. And then I got to get back to Netflix, or I got to get back to worrying, or I got to get back to things that really don't matter. And you know what? I haven't been taught to love my body. So I have a couple of minutes. So really make it quick as you can. I got to go. Helen, how would you treat someone with urinary urgency, overactive bladder? Well, I just talked about it. Again, bowel first, daily cleansing tea, tummy love, black gold, okay? And then we got to find out what's your water intake, what type of water are you drinking, all right? And I'm going to tell you something right now. When you've got a bladder problem, you've got fibroids, crystallization, scar tissue in your pelvis, and you don't even know it. And you've got infection. You've got infection going into the bladder from your bloodstream because you're reabsorbing waste. Well, where else is it coming from? And then you've got a physical pressure because your large intestine could be atonic, falling down. And if infection's coming out, you've got inflammation. So the bladder gets inflamed. And if I had my arm inflamed right here, I wouldn't be able to stretch it out, would I? So your bladder is not going to stretch out and open up to hold urine if it's inflamed. I don't know what to say. I keep thinking it always comes back to that. It always comes back to creating the perfect day on an emotional and physical level. I'm going to make a call right now. Anybody that sent in a message today and questions, 23 of them, Monday. We'll do them on Monday. I'm going to call this beautiful lady, Cassandra, and if she picks up the phone, then we'll talk to her. And if not, I think Drake wants this weekend, don't you? A little bit. Okay. All right. Okay, bear with me, everyone. 1 4 3 8 4 9 8 4 9 8. Usually I do this at the beginning, but because I wasn't prepared and I didn't bring her number in, we did it at the end. Okay. I will always, you can be the one if you want. But if you'd like to come on with me, you don't have to give your name. You don't have to say where you live. If you want to come on and talk to me, we'll talk voice to voice, vibration to vibration. And I do this every time I do a Q&A, Drake. So, text us on Facebook.
You have reached the voicemail box of Cassandra Jansky.
Hi, frog. Hi, Cassandra. This is Dr. Wolfe. If you would like to be on the show on Monday and do this, my apologies. I said I would call at the beginning. Give me a call or leave me a message on this phone number, and we will be doing this at 3 o'clock on Monday. And if somebody else out there would like to do that, we'll do 2 people, and we won't take any more questions on Monday. We'll do all the questions that we have, 23 of them. And then we'll do a call-in. And if we have time, then I'll take other questions, everyone. Have a beautiful weekend, Cassandra. Now, Cassandra, let me just say this. Cassandra has, okay, let me just go over. She gave me a couple notes. I just want to go over it with you. And then maybe I won't, maybe I will. Oh, here it is. Okay, Cassandra's 115 pounds. Okay, she's only 25 years old. All right. She has a bowel movement. Okay. Every other day. Really? I said to her, and this is not making fun of her. So understand, she's a beautiful, beautiful woman. I said to her, so how often do you have a bowel movement? Are your bowels good? Oh, my bowels are good. Yes. I go, well, how often do you have it? Oh, every other day. Well, you should have it 2 bowel movements a day to 3 bowel movements a day. And that's the God's truth. Okay. I only eat, I do like maybe 1 blender drink a day. I'll do some carrot juice on a regular diet. I'll do like a salad or soup at lunch. And then I'll have something like either could be beans, a bean patty for supper, or something like that, and some steamed vegetables. And I'll tell you something. I have 2 and 3 bowel movements a day. I kid you not. But I do daily cleansing tea and the black gold and tummy love. So it keeps everything moving. And the thing is when you have a movement, that movement could have been 7 inches, 8 inches long, but it's only now 3 inches long because it's hard and dehydrated, and you've been absorbing your waste. Okay? And she's absorbing all this waste. She's 25 years old. And guess what? She has a 3-inch long fibroid, okay, in her breast. And then she has 2 other ones that, it's a 3 inches long and 1 inch thick. And it's a fibroid. And they call it, her doctor said, it's a benign tumor. So we know it's not cancerous, but why do you have to say that? Why do you have to be a drama queen? Benign tumor. Leave the word tumor off, for God's sakes. Why scare the girl when she's 25 years old? She's already freaked out. Why not just call it a fibroid? Okay, because a fibroid's just scar tissue. So it's not cancerous. But so leave the word off. This is the stuff I don't like. And I'm allowed not to like it. But they're programmed to say these things. So now, what else do I have here? I think I wrote something else down. Oh, are you ready for this? Yeah. So now, remember what I told you? That you can't have a breast problem unless you have a pelvis problem, which means that you have inflamed ovaries, your fallopian tubes are in trouble, and you know what? Your uterus is thickening. Trust me, I'm right about this. I've been doing this for 35 years. And you know what? I don't need an x-ray, thank you. Okay, I don't need to do a million tests. Okay, when you do something 10,000 times and it seems to work, you seem to get it, right? You seem to get it. So when you say to me, do you test for this? Do you test for that? I think you are the test. You are the test. And if you understand about the human body, then you wouldn't be test crazy. But I'll tell you something right now. Everybody's test crazy. And I'm not telling you to go for tests. I'm just telling you I haven't had a test. I haven't had a test for anything, okay, since I was probably around 19 years old. All right? And I'll be 64 in a few weeks. All right. So she's lactating. Well, she's lactating because her hormones are just out of whack. Now, did you ever run down a hill and you knew that you had to keep running because you didn't want to fall, because you couldn't stop? You'd smash right down. Well, that's what's going on with her ovaries. They're like runaway horses if you ever watch the Stagecoach movies, right? Yeehaw, they're gone. So now we've got to calm things down. We got to calm her down emotionally and calm her down physically by bringing the inflammation down. And guess what? She's lucky. She just lives probably about a 10-hour drive. So she can come here if she wants. We can teach her husband and her, okay, how to do the Wolfe non-surgical. And then they are their only practitioners they need for body work. Because I'll tell you right now, you get a couple, you get them to learn the non-surgical in our personal treatment and training, whether they come here or we fly there. And understand something. They're not going to need anybody unless they need emergency care. So the husband's actually going to know and learn how to go in and massage the breast. He's going to learn how to do Wolfe non-surgical too, to actually lovingly pull the scar tissue apart. And we talked about it earlier today, about opening up the sternum, going underneath the breast, all around here. And he's going to be able to work on her pelvis too, and her abdomen. And then we're going to go and we're actually going to do her lower back too, because it's all crystallized and scar tissued, right? And then we're going to teach her and get her to look at the 12 loving steps. Get her to do the Braveheart Love Band, not all 12 of them, just the Braveheart Love Band, the mirror work, where she can talk to herself and look herself in the eyes and say, I can heal. This is the new me. And she can look and she can go, Cassandra, today and every day from this moment, I will love, honor, respect, and cherish you. And I apologize for not looking after you. And I will never have a reaction again. And when I do, I will snap my love band. So I snap back into the present moment. I'll go 3, 2, 1 and snap back into the present moment. And I will no longer have a 3-hour panic attack, a 3-day panic attack, or even a 30-minute one. I will only allow myself 30 seconds and I will be back into the present moment where that's the only place I have power to heal. So understand something. Any of you with diseases, if you're stressing or you panic or you're in depression, you'll never heal. Unless you're in the present moment and you take your power back, and it doesn't mean you have to have energy today, but understand something. You will never heal unless you have energy. Oh my God, Darrell, how's that going to work? I have no energy. Well, guess what? We're going to show you how. That's what we do if you want. And if you don't want from us, then look for somebody that you trust and somebody that you can challenge and somebody that's going to put their mouth where their money is. Okay? I will be back on Monday, like I said. You can send your questions in here, and if I have time, I'll answer those Monday. Okay? And then I will be doing the perfect day diet, just diet, not about supplementation or anything else, or about external or internal treatment, only a little bit, okay? Just a teeny bit on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, I'll be doing a Q&A. And then the following week, I'll talk about supplementation and external therapies and things that do cost money and things that don't. So it doesn't matter where you are on the pay scale. We all go together. Okay, remember something. You're only limited by your beliefs. I know you don't believe that right now. That's another belief we've been taught. You are unlimited. You are mainly spirit. Feed your spirit and take control. If you can just remind yourself to stay in the present moment, okay? Be in the present moment. You'll change the program. You'll change the program. There's a genius in there. There's a practitioner in there. Okay, but you got to get out there to really discover yourself. Find your authentic self, and the world will be yours. But first, let's create the perfect day and then repeat it for at least 33 days and then see if your life hasn't changed. God bless. Have the best weekend of your life. If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.